Marvo Monka continues to be honestly one of the best efforts by brands I've ever seen to make genuinely good quality and high value products. Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece variety or Wookie Triple XL, and we have the KG991W. Besides the naming convention, Marvo is doing an incredibly good job of putting products together with incredibly good value. This keyboard has more battery than a modern iPhone, 4,000 milliamps worth. I've been using it for the entire week and it's only hit half of its battery life. It's a full mechanical with one of their own proprietary switches, which is actually Monka branded. It's a Marvo in-house mechanical switch, which feels absolutely fantastic. And this thing is gasket mounted as well for 1,200 Rand. Wireless mechanical that I mentioned. Anyway, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many cool features on this. Some of you might already be noticing the volume slider in the top right-hand corner. And that's got a couple of little functions and features that are just exceptional. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's go through what's in the box. So you obviously get a keyboard, you get a very nice braided cable, you get a 2.4 gigahertz receiver, you get a keycap puller with a switch puller, which I'm a little bit confused by because I don't think this is modular, but both are there in case you need them. And then you get the little Marvo manual, which comes inside of the little red letter pouch once again. It's just a nice touch that I kind of personally like that they do that. But the keyboard itself has a little slot for the 2.4 gigahertz dongle. I was like, where's the dongle when I took it out? It actually sits in a little slot on the side of the keyboard, so you won't have to go hunting for it. Just watch the video and then you'll not be like me and get lost with it. But it's fully RGB backlit. Like I said, it's full mechanical. There's no shine through on the keycap set that they chose, but I also very much like the retro feel of this. It's got that 16/8-bit Nintendo kind of vibe to it with the red, the black, and the gray keycaps, which I think you'll agree does give it a very, very nice look and feel. Overall, the presentation of this is set in a 95% profile, so it's almost a full keyboard, just a little bit narrower and smaller. They've moved the arrow keys more inward into the center of the keyboard, and it's made the overall profile a little bit narrower. I would love to see this in a TKL, just while we're here, just throwing that out there. I think this in a TKL layout would slap really hard because the overall build of this is, like I said, it's incredible. The gasket mounted setup on this is absolutely fantastic. So around the front bottom, you're going to see a Monka on the bottom right over there, and the profile of the keys and the way they stick out is like basically perfect. Very, very nice selection of keycaps, and they double shot PBTs as well. From the side profile, you're going to notice with the kickstand and stuff that it's got a pretty good angle. When we look around the bottom, you're going to see rubberizing in all four corners as default, and then on the kickstands themselves. And the kickstands do have two positions. It's a double position kickstand setup. So there's one and then a second larger one. So you're going to be able to get it to the perfect height for you. And then around the front of the keyboard, you are going to see a little Type-C input for charging, which you will only be visiting maybe once every 2 weeks. It's because the battery life on this, like I said, is insane. I've had it with full backlighting going with the default 30-second timeout. There's absolutely no delay, by the way, on the keyboard. It's only the lights that time out. The keyboard connection stays active all the time that it's on. There's absolutely no delay, so it instantly wakes up from its slumber, which is absolutely fantastic. Then on the far right-hand side is where you're going to notice some very cool stuff going on. That's where that little screen is over there. When you press function and press the volume knob inwards like that, it then accesses the functions on the keyboard, and you can change lighting, you can change layout, you can change profiles and stuff directly from the keyboard itself, which is a nice to have, especially when you're trying to connect between the Bluetooth connections, because this thing can do 3 Bluetooths as well as a 2.4 gigahertz. And then a wired as well. So it can have 5 different connection types, which is a default for a lot of the wireless keyboards and stuff that we find around today. But yeah, to have that at this price point is just kind of astronomically cool. The only criticism I have of the screen and the readout on it is the font. I would very much like something that's not 1997 Times New Roman, which I've actually fed back to them, and they actually really received quite graciously, which is kind of cool as a brand that they actually take some cues from the people that use and review their products. So we'll give you a big thumbs up for that as well, Marvo. I see you out here. You guys are doing good work. And with a couple of tweaks, you're going to have like one of the best products in market. So like I said, these keycaps are double shot, and then they've got their own switch. It's actually a Monka branded switch, and it gives a very, very good feel. And now I'm going to give you just a little bit of an audio test so you can hear the gasket mounting. This keyboard has thock. It's got real thock for 1,200 Rand. Do you hear any stabilizer problems? A keyboard of this price has lubricated stabilizers? Are you joking? It's the first time I've tested anything under 1,500 Rand that has proper lubrication for the stabilizers, like to this level where it's this quiet. So the keyboard audio is fantastic. The feel of these switches is really good as well. I used this until I brought it onto the channel for review and had to film it. Until then, I've honestly been super happy with it. Layout wise, this side was a little bit of getting used to, and I use a 75%, which is quite a lot narrower than this. And so, yeah, I may have missed QWERTY setup while playing Dota here and there, but in general, I absolutely love using this for typing as well. The audio from it is fantastic. The feel of the switches is incredibly good. This is now the bang for buck keyboard on the Evetech store, per my purview, because you don't get a wireless keyboard of this quality and price. The software, if I just cover that for a second, the software, honestly, it's a little bit basic and clunky, but you can still do macros and stuff on it. But I'm not really big into macros and stuff. But if you are, the software is there. It can be used to do that. And it also has a sync for the time, by the way. By default, it comes out with the last place it was synced with, which was in China. So if you want a Chinese local time, that's what you'll have on your keyboard. But you can just hit a little button and sync it from there. And then otherwise, honestly, you don't really need the software. The keyboard is super, super good as it stands. The double kickstand is fantastic. The rubberizing is fantastic. The general build quality is really good. There's like very little flex in it. I mean, I'm really having a go at it. So you don't have to with your one, but it doesn't really move, or like, it doesn't give me any feeling that it's going to be bad. The weight is pretty good considering there's 4,000 milliamps worth of battery inside of this thing. Like, it's incredible. Price versus performance being considered over here, there's nothing the entire market wide that I think can compare to this new Monka. So yeah, we'll have to see its longevity, if the quality of their switches and stuff see you into the future, and if it lasts long. But yeah, on paper, this thing's absolutely astronomically good. And I think we can all agree the retro styling is just chef's kiss. Anywho, that is all I have for you on the Marvo Monka KG991W. It's a great bang for buck. If you've enjoyed this review, please hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.